Today's video is going to be about the law of assumption and manifestation. So the law of assumption plays a really big role when we want to manifest things into our lives. So when I have myself or even clients that I work with ask the question, why is it not happening for me yet? The first thing that I look at is your law of assumption. So we now know that our assumptions about the world are individual to each and every single one of us because they are based on our core beliefs. Our core beliefs are acquired usually when we are children around the ages of 0 to about 11 years old. Not that we cannot acquire core beliefs later on in life as adolescents or sometimes even as adults, but usually they are integrated into our system and they become our hardwire when we are children, because that is the key time that we are forming synapses in our system and we absorb the world around us and then we make it mean things. That's why in the book, The 4 Agreements, one of the rules is never assume anything, because assumptions are very individual to each and every single one of us based on our core beliefs. So if I was raised in a household where my parents were very aware of their environment, they were comfortable with finances, and they were able to give me my 4 S's as a child: safe, seen, secure, and soothed, my core beliefs would have been completely different than what they were when I was actually raised, where my dad had left to go overseas to make money for us because money was scarce, and we grew up in a little bit of fear and shame. So those core beliefs, if my family was what I originally described, would be: the world is safe, the world is abundant, I am loved, I am okay. But my actual core beliefs that I acquired through my own childhood were, it is really hard to make money. The world is something to fear of. I am not lovable. I am not worthy. So you can already see how that one individual versus the actual individual would have different assumptions about the world. Our core beliefs become our lenses of perception, which then allow for the assumptions, the interpretations of the world to basically become our reality. Because our experience internally is what manifests in our outer world. So this is what we know to be true. So when you're trying to manifest something, really look at your core beliefs, because they will be the catalyst to your individual law of assumption. And what are you assuming about the world deep down inside? Are you assuming that other people are luckier than you? There is not enough? Are you assuming that you'll never be able to make it? You're not smart enough? You're not good enough? You don't have what you need in order for your dream to manifest? What is it, if you think about deep down inside, that is preventing you from having your manifestation materialize in the physical world because of something that you are still assuming about you and your true self? So many people call the true self many different things, but everyone says the same thing. So Neville Goddard and a lot of his YouTubers actually that follow his philosophies and ideas, like Shelley Bullard, they talk about self-concept and manifestation. So if your self-concept is not up to par with I am amazing, I am lovable, I am worth it all, I am deserving it all, if your self-concept is not in alignment with those types of, essentially their core beliefs, their affirmations about the self that stem from our core, the beliefs that we have about the world and ourselves and the environment around us based on how we were raised. That's when we mostly acquire our core beliefs. So she and he always talk about self-concept and how it is the most important thing to have nailed down to be positive in order to manifest. Christina Lopes talks about ego self versus soul self. Your soul self is the one that is in unconditional love, in full knowing that anything can be possible. And your ego self is the one that doubts things, because the ego self is a misguided ally that tries to protect us and is developed through our childhood. So the ego self is actually based on a lot on the research of Sigmund Freud. So the ego self is a misguided ally that tries to protect us when we become adults if we had a difficulty in our childhood. If we had difficulties in our childhood, the ego self then becomes a misguided ally and tries to protect us, and will say things like, you're not good enough for this, or that can never happen to you, because it's actually trying to protect you from being hurt, because perhaps that's what you were told as a child and you were hurt. So now you have all these protective walls up on around you due to your experience, and your ego is just trying to protect you, but it's a misguided ally. This is the biggest lesson that I took from physical wellness, actually. And it makes so much sense to me why the ego would want to protect us, because we were hurt as a child, but this is not true. The soul self knows that we can have it all. It believes in us. It knows it. So this is what you want to look at. You want to look at your self-concept. You want to look at your soul self. You want to be in unconditional love. Know that you can have it all. Know that you are worth it. Know that you deserve it. Know that anything that you can think of, you can manifest it. The only person that can stop you is you, by the things that you assume about yourself and the world and your place in the world around you based on your core beliefs that you acquired as a child. And then the last thing I want to say, I wrote this down so I don't forget it. Yes, Abraham Hicks, they are so big on manifesting. They talk about this part of ourselves as the vibrational self. So there's the 3D self, like the actual physical self that we see in the mirror. And then there's the vibrational side of us, which would be equal to the self-concept, to the core beliefs, to the soul self that Christina Lopes talks about. It's an energetic part of us, the vibration that we put out there. What is it for you? What is your core belief? Your core beliefs create your self-concept. They create your ego self. They create that vibrational part of you that draws in your experiences. So this is what you need to perfect and know and assume, the law of assumption, that yes, you are worth it. Yes, you can do it. Yes, you are lovable. Yes, you are amazing. Yes, you have it within you. You don't need anything else other than your pure desire to manifest it in real life, and then knowing that yes, you can. So once you're able to understand that and change your law of assumption about the world, then your manifestations can become your reality, because you don't allow for room for anything else. You don't allow any margins for doubt. No doubt. There's no reason to have any doubts. Doubt is man-made. Fear is man-made. All these are man-made because we are born in unconditional love. We were meant to have unconditional love. It is our birthright to manifest all of our desires. So you can do it. I totally believe in you. Check your law of assumption. What is your core belief? I'm going to put some core beliefs in the description box below, because I know that I used to run on, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I am not liked, I am not lovable, I am not enough. And until I changed all that, then my world was only able to change around me. And I don't blame anyone for this. It's just how I was raised, and that's okay too. I've learned so much through it, and I know that it is possible because I'm a true example of it. And I did not introduce myself in the beginning. My name is Anna Morfides. My channel is Many Hearts Counseling. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Do like this video. And remember that everything is always happening for you, not to you. You always have the power, and I will see you next time.